Welcome back to the Shadow Business Podcast. And today we're going to talk about which sales shadow is killing your business. And we're going to find out in 5 questions. And so today is going to be a little different. And honestly, I'm very excited about this episode because we are talking about something that I see literally every single day with my clients who are coaches, creatives, artists, service providers, people who work in healthcare, all the sectors. And these are really people that have really built something genuinely good. And you know what? They are just not making the sales that they should be making. And that's why they work with me. And I have figured out why this is. And after working with so many people. And most of the people think it is, not actually most, but a large group of people think it's your offer. Some people also think it is their audience, the current audience that they have, the followers, and others constantly blame the algorithm. Well, I have recorded so many episodes about that. I'm not going to talk about this anymore. It's never the algorithm, it's you. So it is actually one of 4 shadow archetypes that is actually running your entire sales energy. And within sales, energy is so important. And today we're going to figure out which one is yours. So we're actually going to dive into the shadows. And I've also created a little 1-page quiz that goes with this episode. And that's what the fun part, I think it's a fun part actually of it. Sorry, I'm going to move my mic for a second. Yes. So you can actually grab it. You can find the link in the show notes. You can find it there. And by the end of that quiz, and also after this podcast, you will probably already kind of know, but you know exactly which archetype are you and what to do about it. So we're going to talk about the archetypes, and just to be sure that your guess is right, I have created your personalized podcast. You can download it for free, and it's just so much fun. What did I say? Personalized podcast, personalized archetype. You know what? A personalized podcast is possible too, but that is called coaching. And you can get that too. You can find the application form also in the show notes. Anyway, so let's just go, right? So I want you to think about this for a second. You have an offer. You know that it's good. You've probably had clients go through it and absolutely love it. You know, go through it if you're a coach, but also they bought it and they loved it when you're an artist. And you might have also gotten really great testimonials. And you know what? Actually, when it comes to selling it, you feel like something is going wrong every time. And you feel like, ugh, I'm such a loser, or all those things that you're thinking. You're not, but you're thinking that, right? And so maybe you're someone who posts about it and then goes quiet about it for 3 weeks. This I see a lot, actually, just as a spectator, right? Not with my clients, but with, just as a peer. Or maybe you launch it and the silence is so loud that you want to close your laptop and never open it again. Yeah. And maybe you're also could be that you're out there giving away so much free value that people actually think that you're some kind of library or a museum and not a business. Don't get me wrong. I love libraries and museums. It's just not, they're both not very profitable. Some museums are. That's a topic for another podcast. Maybe, if you're interested, let me know. Anyway, whatever it looks like for you, there is always a shadow underneath it. And maybe you've already done the shadow work and maybe there's no shadows. Of course, it's possible, but most people actually do have those shadows and you don't have to be afraid of it. Obviously, the shadows are always helping you. And so for this episode, I have identified 4 archetypes for you. 4 very specific patterns that I see my clients or clients to become clients, actually, that's what is currently their pattern. And especially when it comes to selling. And, the fun part about this is that once you see it, you cannot unsee it. And then you can actually do something about it. So if you cannot see it, what is there to do? So I'm going to introduce you to our 4 ladies. Of course, they are women because I focus on women. if you're a man and you're listening to this, might be interesting for you to think of another male name. But also, you know what? Why not be a woman for a day? Highly recommend. Anyway, first up, there is Hiding Heidi. Okay, let me just phrase this because I was actually, so yesterday it was a free day, it was King's Day in the Netherlands, and we had our day off. And actually, I'm trying as a business owner to not work on the kind of official days off because it's good for me and my health, as you can see with this episode. And so I took a nap in the afternoon, and then when I went to sleep at night, I always go to bed quite early, but I couldn't really sleep because I was not tired anymore because I took that nap. It was maybe a little bit too long of a nap. Who cares? Who's counting? Anyway, that's how I came up with these names. And I remembered them. I don't know how, but I didn't write it down or anything. But I thought, oh yeah, I'm going to do that podcast. So yeah, 2 days before launching. Anyway, Hiding Heidi. So Heidi has an incredible offer. It is really transformational. And she's a coach, but it could also be she could also be an artist. Really helps people see their potential and really makes people sing, all those things. And so she spent months building it, creating it. She knows how it works. Her clients who buy it actually really rave about it, and then she posts about it maybe once every 3 weeks. And this is only if Mercury is not in retrograde, or if she feels ready, or if the lighting in her stories look actually good enough, or when she has, when it's sunny out, or all those things, right? She tells herself at this point that she's building trust with their audience first, kind of warming up the audience, and she just needs a few more followers before she really goes for it. Okay, so maybe you already recognize this, right? The thing is that she's not actually building trust. She's just hiding, as her name already suggests. And the annoying part about this is that her offer is just sitting there and it's fully finished, fully ready, and it's actually not helping those people that actually want her to show up. So think about this. Is this you? And maybe this is someone that you see daily in a mirror. And there is absolutely no shame in this, right? But okay. I'm just going to go with the next person, and then we're going to talk about it because I'm just so excited about this. Okay, next, Lazy Lydia. I'm so sorry, by the way, for the people who have these names and actually have these names and then kind of feel like I'm associating that. I'm not. I love Lydia's, right? Okay. Lazy Lydia. The thing with this is that Lydia is not actually lazy. This is the thing. So she is one of the busiest people that you will ever meet. This is a person who has a full calendar, 17 browser tabs open at all times, a Notion board that is a work of art. And she knows exactly what she needs to do to make sales. She could tell you in her sleep. She has consumed every piece of content about launching, about sales psychology, about copywriting. She's followed all the courses, has a kind of system that would work if she would use it, but she just doesn't do it. And there's always a reason here. So this could be that the caption is not quite right, or the sales page needs one more tweak, or she should probably first listen to the podcast episode about email marketing because she thinks that would actually really help her, or maybe even get that course. But yeah, the course actually takes 9 hours to follow, and then and then she has 1 hour a day, so it's going to be 1.5 weeks. Yeah, let's exclude the weekends. It's 2 weeks before the next launch. So this person, Lazy Lydia, is the hardest worker in every room that she goes in, except the money room. She's not going into the money room because she doesn't get any money, because she's not getting to do it, get around to it. Okay, there is a distinction here between Hiding Heidi and Lazy Lydia. I hope you're noticing this because it's quite small, but it's there. Okay, Then we have traumatized. Okay, I should have tried to pronounce. I just wrote. I just wrote these down. Okay, traumatizing Trina, and she means well. I want to be very clear about that. Trina is passionate about her work. She genuinely wants to help people, but somewhere, I don't know where, she has learned the way you get people to buy is to make them feel the urgency. Who has experienced this, right? Make them feel real pain and make them really understand what they're missing out on. And so her content is all, you're leaving money on the table. You cannot afford to wait. Your business is suffering because you have not fixed this yet. And honestly, her audience is quite exhausted at this point. They follow her and they respect her, and they also kind of dread opening her emails, but because it always feels like a lecture, like they're always doing something wrong, like they're already behind. It's just 10 steps behind of Trina or maybe her clients or whatever it is. And so for Trina is that the sales come in, but nowhere near as many as they should. Because I feel there is people who is buying from others who make them feel bad about themselves, but it's quite a small group, and you're actually limiting yourself right there, Trina. Okay. Finally, because I promised 4, is got it going on Greta. So Greta, and this is also quite badly probably translated from Dutch, right? And got it going on Greta. I don't think that's really how you say it in English, but yeah, I mean, who does? And so Greta is the one that everyone looks at and thinks, wow, she has it figured out, right? Content is great, brand is gorgeous. People, they DM her saying that she's an inspiration. She shows up consistently. She's very strategic. She delivers incredible results for her clients. And then it's a time to actually ask for the sale. And this is where Greta kind of soft launches. She adds 3 bonus calls to the offer before anyone has ever asked about the offer or the price. And she talks about her work in a way that makes it sound like a suggestion rather than an invitation. And this is a person who is outstanding at everything except for 4 words. Here is how to buy. Sorry, 5 words. All right. So which one are you? And so I have put together a 5-question quiz. It literally takes 2 minutes. And it will tell you exactly which archetype is running your sales right now. And maybe you already know. And you can download it in the link in the show notes. You can find it there. And it's 1 page, 2 pages actually. You can print it out or fill it in digitally. It's just a PDF. You circle the answers, count up your letters, and you find yourself on page 2, because that's where we explain all the archetypes. And this is what I love so much about this, is that when you read through the archetypes, you will immediately know which one you are. But the quiz will make you honest, because we're actually very good at telling ourselves stories about why we do the things that you do. And the quiz actually cuts through that. So you can grab it for free. It's going to be so much fun. And to notice also, and you know, when you kind of ask for feedback and you're like, yeah, I'm really open to it. And then someone says something and it really hurts. That's probably what a great incentive to download this. That's probably going to be amazingly the outcome of you downloading this. Okay. There is one thing that I want to end the episode with, because knowing your archetype is just the beginning. It is absolutely not the destination. That's why we start this before we're even doing anything. And I see a lot of people in the online space doing this thing where they identify their pattern or their shadows. Sometimes happens to my clients too, right? Or their shadows, or they give it a name, or they kind of make peace with it. and then nothing actually changes. Well, that's not what we're doing, And then when you know this, you're still not making the sales, right? You're just able to articulate why you're doing this while you're not going to make more sales. And that's not the goal. The goal is to actually sell. That's why you're probably listening to this episode. To have people buying your offer, more people buying your offer. To make money from the thing that you have spent so much time and energy building. Because I know it's very much worth it. I know it's much worth it because you're listening to this episode and you spend time on bettering your business. I mean, then I know that your offer is really good because you spend time on this as well. So it actually requires two things working together. One is your inner work, the shadow piece, shadow business podcast, blah, blah, and your strategy, your actual copy, your process, the actual mechanics of how you sell. And when those two things are aligned, then it will shift. And that is what we do inside my new mini mastermind called Shadow to Sales. It's a 4-week mastermind where we take your offer, we find the block, we build your copy together, we create a sales process that fits your actual life, and we get you making sales before the 4 weeks are even over. It is actually really a very activating group. Not after, but it's actually during. So I want it to be very easy for you to apply. So it's not like, oh, you have to do this. No, we're looking exactly what you have. So if you have no email list, we're not going to set up an email campaign or an email list. No, we're going to work with what you have. So if it's right now, you have an Instagram account with a few followers, then we're going to message those people, for instance. But it's going to be much more than that, of course. But we're looking at the lowest effort and actually getting those sales in and actually releasing the block by taking action. So if that sounds like what you need to do right now, you can find all the information on the mini mastermind in the show notes. There's a link there and you can find all the info if it's for you. And obviously grab the quiz as well. So you know exactly what you're working on when you come in, right? We're doing the quiz at the beginning of the mastermind, but it's quite fun to do it before. And so your homework, so to say, for today is to go download the quiz, do it honestly, find out which shadow has been running your sales, and then come tell me, on Instagram. I'm at Sarah Birkenkamp, and which one is your shadow? And I think I have a feeling that also based on my own shadow, that there is a lot of Gretas out there. It's just a feeling because most of the time people are a little bit like me. They tend to listen to my podcast. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for listening to the Shadow Business Podcast. Please feel free to share this with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe and rate 5 stars.